Hey people, Doc again. Before we go any further, I would just like to thank you all for the comments, the likes, the shares, and those of you who've subscribed to the channel. It's awesome. I only started doing these videos to help out you, my brothers and sisters that are on the road, just trying to make it safe and enjoyable for everyone. Right, the topic of this video is basic motorcycle maintenance. I've received quite a few emails and I've had some nice comments below basically saying, Doc, I'm new to biking or I'm returning to motorcycling. I've got very little mechanical knowledge, but I'd like to maintain my bike, keep it safe, and hopefully save me a little bit of money doing so. Can you help? Yes. I'll break the maintenance down into several videos. Nice and easy, basic stuff that's going to keep both you and your bike safe on the road. Today's video is going to be a basic toolkit. If you're going to be prepared to do any work on your bike yourself, you will need a few basic tools just to start with. Now I've got an assortment in front of me, but I'll show you in a little bit. These were purposely bought for this video as budget tools. They're not meant to last years. They're not going to be the high-tech, super do-it-all, polychromy, chrome vandium bullshit. They're just cheap budget tools to get you going. Once you've mastered the basics of maintenance, then you can explore the world and wondrous adventures of tools that's out there with the various manufacturers. But get the basic concept down pat first. Okay, so we'll have a look at these tools. We'll go from there. Okay, let's have a look at some budget tools. Now, as I said earlier, these are budget tools. They're cheap, they're cheerful, they're disposable. As your experience grows with your maintenance, you can invest in more expensive tools as you need them. So first up, and I think quite a priority, is a tyre pressure gauge. Now you need to know the pressure of your tyres front and back. This tool pops on, reads, tells you your pressure in pounds per square inch. This is just another type of tyre pressure. I only pulled it out because I got two different types in the toolbox. Again, you put it on to your tyre valve. This little doodah pops up and you read your pressure. Now, why I've put a tyre pressure gauge in this toolkit is basic safety. If your tyres are at the wrong pressure, the bike isn't going to handle as it should, making it unsafe to ride, making it dangerous for you and other road users. This particular tyre gauge cost me £3 on eBay. Oh yeah, but why don't you put 20 pence into the machine in the garage and use the forecourt pump? Yeah, you can. That's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that, to inflate your tyres to the correct pressure. But take this with you, because that tyre regulator at the forecourt, the garage forecourt, you don't know if that's been calibrated. It should have been, but you don't know if it is. And a couple of pounds of pressure each way in the tyres can make a hell of a difference to the handling of a bike. Now, I can't tell you what tyre pressure you need to put in your tyres, because every manufacturer, for every different manufacturer of tyre, for every different manufacturer of bike, for every different size wheel is different. Either find out through Google your bike's specs, or go out and the very first thing you need to buy is a Haynes manual. Well, so all this is I got an old one here. Basically, you've seen this before. It's a book specific to your bike, specific to the year, the engine size, and basically that's got everything you need to know in there about maintaining your bike safely and cheaply, because through these books you can basically strip your bike to bits and rebuild it. So to me, that would be the first investment you need to make once you've bought your bike. If it didn't come with a manual, and I'm not talking about the owner's manual that tells you where the horn is or the indicators, if it isn't specific to stripping the bike to bits and rebuilding, pick one up. They're only £15, £14, £15 on eBay, Amazon. Any of the big chains will carry them. Okay, so once you've bought your manual, pick up tyre pressure. Now all these little jobs that I'll just briefly explain what these things will come in for, you will see as we go on in later videos. I'll be showing you how to use the tyre pressure gauge. I'll be showing you how to use a pair of pliers, just basic maintenance things. Tyre pressure gauge. Next along, we got just a little bit of an assortment of some spanners. These are open-ended spanners and ring spanner. These are what's called a combination spanner. There's all different types, but basically these are the generally most used. And they range in sizes anywhere from, I've seen as small as 5mm, right up to, I've got some here that are 35mm. They're massive. You'd never use anything that big. I'm just pulling back a little bit and going out of focus because I'm getting one of the bumpers just to show you difference in size. You see? I think that's an old 1.25 inch or 1.5 inch. But you'll never use anything that big. That was just me saying, look, I got a bigger one in here. Anyway. Spanners come generally in kits. You'll have 3, 5, 7, 12, however many spanners in a tool roll or in a little box. You can get ones like these. Again, they call combination spanners, but they have 4 different sizes. I think this one goes from an 8 to a 10 to a 12 to a 15mm, I think. And then you just turn and go the other way. That's a different form. Instead of having 4 of these, you could have one of those. But you are going to need larger sizes. Now, just to show you that there are bargains out there, and you can pick up a cheap toolkit just to start with. I was at a local car boot sale the other day, and I'd already thought about doing this video, so I thought, I'll see if I can pick a couple of cheap things up. Now, that's a 22-piece spanner set. It goes from 19mm down to 6mm, and from 1/4 inch, which is 6mm equivalent in imperial, right up to 3/4, which is 18 and a tad mil, imperial and metric. Metric millimeters, imperial inches. That's the easy way to remember it. But this, all these spanners in the tool roll, yes, they're dirty, yes, they're a little bit rusty, but they'll clean up, cost me a massive £1.50. So again, these spanners will cover almost everything nut and bolt wise you will need to do on your bike, and that cost me £1.50. So there are bargains out there. I've seen a lot of the tools that I'm showing you here, or similar tools, available. We have pound shops in Great Britain where you can buy things for £1. 99 cents in America, I suppose it would be equivalent. I've seen sets of spanners, I've seen sets of screwdrivers, I've seen pliers, Allen keys, even rubber mallets and hammers. Now again, they're not going to be top quality, they're not going to last a lifetime. But for what you're going to do for maintenance wise, they'll do for a little while until you can afford better. So, spanners. Next thing I would say that you do need is adjustables. And it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's an adjustable spanner. So it's a spanner that you can adjust. If you've just bought a roll of spanners and you've only got one 13mm spanner, you need something on the other end of the bolt that's 13mm as well. Rather than going out and buying another set of spanners, just buying adjustables. Again, you can pick these up. £2, I've seen these. Sometimes you get them in the pound shop. So we've got pressure gauge, adjustable spanner, set of spanners, Next up would be a set of screwdrivers, because you're going to be tightening, loosening, adjusting screws, both Phillips and flathead, and that's just another bigger Phillips. Again, you can buy them in sets, you can buy them individually. I've seen them 2 for £1 in a pound shop, 1 flathead, 1 Phillips head. That's all you need. Next would be Allen keys. Now, you only need 1 set. I think this set goes from 3mm up to 10. Same on here, but this one is a £2 set from Halfords, and it's for a push bike. But they're the same sizes. Just because they're for a push bike, don't mean you can't use them on a motorbike. Also, these fold down flat, so you could put these in a little tool pocket under your seat if you've got room. Anyway, Allen keys, again, you're going to need and use them just for general basic maintenance. I've put in pliers. They're not a necessity, but you can pick them up in the pound shop. You can get pliers and side cutters or die cutters in America, but basically you can pick them up for £1, so why not have them? They're handy for holding things, pulling on cables, holding a nut while you're trying to undo the other end. Multitude of uses, so have one in your little kit. Again, we all like to hit things with a hammer, but basically you can either get a ball pin hammer like this type, a rubber mallet. This is a dead blow, which means it doesn't bounce when I hit, or you can get the carpenter's hammer, which is the claw hammer. Any of these would work. Again, you can pick up cheap, this wasn't a cheap one, but you can pick up cheap ball pin hammers in the pound shop. They're half this size, but for tapping the axle rod through, if it's a little bit sticky, it's ideal. They do rubber mallets in the pound shop, not dead blow, but rubber mallets. That way you're not going to damage the head of the nut. Just ideal for £1. So that to me, oh, one more thing, sorry, is that. Now I know you're looking at it thinking, what the hell is that? But basically it's a metal tray, and on the back it has a magnet stuck to it. Why I say you should pick up one of these, again, I've seen these in the pound shop, only small, but it'll do. The reason I said to get one of these, it's magnetic. See? So if you take a nut off your bike, rather than putting that nut on the floor where it'll roll away and you lose it, and then you'll be, oh my god, I can't ride my bike, the wheel nut's gone. Drop your nut in there. It's magnetic. Pick your nut up, drop it in. Can't fall out, you're never going to lose it. So every time you take a nut, screw off your bike, drop it in. When you come to rebuild, there's the nut you need. It's okay. Let's just recap. This is what I think would be an absolute bare essential maintenance toolkit, just to start. You're not going to be able to do masses of jobs on the bike, but you'll be able to keep the bike on the road and keep it safe with just these few tools. So we'll run through tyre pressure gauge, adjustable spanner, a small set of spanners. Don't matter if there's only 3 or 4 in there, as long as they cover the general sizes, which is between 10 and 19mm, thereabouts. That's all you need. A little magnetic tool tray, a pair of pliers, a pair of Allen keys, or Allen wrenches like in America, different sizes. I think I paid £6 on the market for this set, and it's lasted me years so far. And a cheap set of screwdrivers, and either a rubber mallet or a ball pin hammer, and that's all you need to start your own little toolbox for maintenance. So in the next video we'll start actually looking at the bike and seeing how we can keep it maintained and how we can keep it running safe on the road. So thank you for watching. Remember, hit the button down the bottom that says like, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and keep passing the word. The more these videos get out there, the safer we're all going to be. So, good night.
Nightmare.